All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. I have the pleasure of sitting here with my brother. I'm going to roll off a couple numbers that you guys may know. He's a 10-time All-Star. He's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. We'll talk about the other one as we go on. He's an NCAA champion. He's one of the coolest mofos that I know. Everybody call him Carmelo Anthony that don't know him, but if you do know him, he's the peace god. Everybody, welcome my brother Melo to the podcast.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. Hey,
Peace, yes.
appreciate you, my guy.
You know that.
Love, man.
Anytime.
So I wanted to start this podcast because I wanted to have conversations with people that I admired, people that I love to learn from. People that are my friends, are my brothers. Just having a platform to be able to just have conversations is what I wanted. And so I appreciate you taking the time. You know, we've had many conversations.
Easy money right here.
But
easy.
But I think, you know, we do a lot of interviews, and some of the questions could be the same. But when you're talking to someone who knows you or seen you in certain situations in life, the answers are different.
Facts.
And so to start this podcast off, I want to go back to the beginning. I want to go back to the Melo that I didn't get to meet. I want to go back to young Melo. So who was like young Melo? Like that Melo that was in B-More, that was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
For the basketball that we all knew you for.
I was just a kid, you know what I mean? I was a kid in Red Hook. I was a kid. You know, Red Hook at that time we're talking 80s, you know, mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So that, you know, it was very community oriented, right? It was the projects, you know, it was gatherings, it was everything was every building did things together. Like it was real community oriented. And as a kid, you looked up to that. You look forward to that. You know what I mean? Every year, every summer, you have your Red Hook Day, your Paradise Day, and everybody come together, and there's music in the park, and there's cookouts, and there's food, and there's basketball games. And so that became what I was looking forward to. Like you wanted to be known for that at that point in time. Like I got to be known for the best in the games on Red Hook Day and things like that. So as a kid, I already had that mentality. My brother played. You know, my cousins played. Was
your brother nice, or did he
my brother was a real deal, man. Now I always give him his credit, man. I like always give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother was he was the heart and soul of Red Hook. You know what I mean? In Brooklyn. So my family, we lived. As soon as you walk in the building, 79 Lorraine Street, 1C, we was the first apartment that you had to go through to get to any other apartment in the building, and to the steps. So we really ran the actual. We was the gatekeepers of the actual building, but my family was big in the projects. Yeah. You know, we was like one of the staple families in the projects. So it was always just love, community, and that's what I grew up in. And then I moved to Baltimore the summer of '92, and I thought the grass was green on that side. Well, my mother.
You were born in what, 84, 85?
I was born in '84.
Okay, so you were
May 29th, 1984. I moved to Baltimore. Summer of '92. Yeah. And I was hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt.
Wait, and you were raised by your mother? Maybe?
I was raised by my mom. My dad passed when I was 2, right? So I was raised by my mom, my brothers, sister, that side of the family. But I was always involved on my other side, with my sisters on my dad's side. Yeah. So they used to take care of me, but my dad had a blended family. He's Puerto Rican, man. He was like, hey, everybody's under one roof over here. You know what I'm saying?
So you had a sense of family early on.
Yeah, but even though him and my mom wasn't together, we still had that. It was just that family. Like, he come to the door with my sisters and, what we doing? Yeah. Mira. What we doing? So that was the environment. Mira. But that was the environment. And then we have family in Baltimore that we used to go down in the summer, you know, take those trips down in summer in the South and things like that. And then my mom was like, yo, we going down there to spend this summer. And never came back. I was hurt.
Man, it's like, you know, when you're a kid, right, and you got to move, you got to uproot, you got to go. it's the little things. You're like, man, my bike, my homies, my this, my that. And, you feel like everything is like, they're just taking everything away from you. Everything that you knew,
Bro, I was just thinking about friends.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like growing up in that environment, like who I was going to be, friends with growing up. This was going to be my crew growing up. Like, you know what I mean? As a kid, you're 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
These are the things you just starting to find out. You're starting to gather your friends. You realize who are your close friends and where friends, who does what and putting the team together. That's when all of that mindset actually starts. So I was just leaving that at that point in time, going to Baltimore.
Going to be more.
So I already established it, but I didn't get a chance to play it out in Red Hook.
And was it because of like a career? Was it your mom moving because of career move? Was it just personal?
Hell no. Mom was like, you know what? Red Hook is crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, we gonna shoot down there for the summer and just get away from Brooklyn for a minute.
Okay.
And she loved it. You know what I mean? She had aunts and sisters and brothers,
family out there,
already down there. You know, my brothers was already moving, back and forth down there anyway. So at that point, it was like, man, I'm the child that don't got a voice. I gotta go. I ain't going. I'm not going.
So okay. So what do you do? Like outside of?
Is this drinkable?
Oh, that's drinkable. That's Wade Cap right there.
Oh,
yeah. I poured that for you because I know.
Love that.
I know you can enjoy that. So outside of basketball, which we're gonna get to, we're gonna cover a lot of basketball, but tell me something else that young Melo did. Like, I've heard a little bit, you said a couple things like, I've watched you. I've watched you when you got paper in front of you. You do a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Like what else did young Melo do?
I was called, my name was Cello, right?
Okay.
Nobody knows that.
Cello.
Right? Cello. That was my name in Red Hook. Everybody called me Cello, right? I guess it was Melo, Cello, good fella. You know what I mean? Hip hop was big back then, so they called me Cello. People in Red Hook called me Cello. So I was Cello to people in Red Hook.
Okay.
If you went back and be like, Melo, it's like, this is
Cello.
Right.
Yeah.
So I never understood where that name came from. Anyway, I was in Baltimore and I was known as Little New York.
Okay.
Right. So I came down with the Anthony Mason in the back, like New York, little New York in the back of my head, in my haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was on. I was into graffiti and art, and I used to get in trouble in school for drawing sneakers on the desk and cartoon characters and tracing. I had tracing books. So I used to do all that. I was a kid. I did everything a kid did. I played with toys. My buddies, the Black My Buddy was one of my
Not the Black My Buddy.
The Black My Buddy was my man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had the wrestling, the WWF, the wrestlers. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
My mom is a diehard wrestling fan. So I used to tape my bunk beds like the ring and jump off the top bunk to my brother's bed, and while he's sleeping, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh, you got a lot of weapons then, bro. Your mom ain't tell you?
I stayed in a room with my older brother. He had his own bed. It was bunk beds. My other brother just was on the top.
Yeah.
And then me and my cousin on the bottom bunk. So it's 4 of us in the square.
Yeah.
We gotta make something happen. Like I'm the one that's just live in there. You know what I mean? I'm jumping from bed to bed to bed to bed. But when I got to Baltimore, to answer your question, man, I used to love drawing, paint. I never paint. I just never understood painting. Nobody showed me how to paint, but I know drawing and being creative, like understanding, just taking something and being able to break it down and put something around it and tell a story. But I had that.
So it was an outlet.
It was an outlet. I had that as a little kid. Like I always had the vision of like, damn, if I was to do that, then I would do it like this. Like I was always thinking like that as a kid.
So you were storytelling.
I was storytelling. Like I already had in my mind things that I would do when I was playing Little League football. Like, it was already like in my mind, that story was already told. Mm-hmm. If I did it and if I didn't do it, I had a story for that too.
I think that's one thing that's important for, let's just say, athletes or young young individuals that definitely come from the same community, the jungle where we come from, right?
Facts.
Is understanding that we are storytellers because we have to create our own life in our mind. We have to close our eyes and put ourselves somewhere or envision ourselves somewhere. We create our own stories. And so we have a skill set of storytelling that we never tap into. Naturally. To be able to accomplish the things that we accomplished to get to where we are, we had to see it and we had to tell ourselves that story. No one told us.
We're naturally gifted, right? We're naturally gifted, right? To your point, we are storytellers. Everything that we ever lived, experienced is a story.
Mm-hmm.
We tell those stories.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally we're storytellers. We can look at somebody and understand the story without us even having any dialogue. You can look at somebody's eyes and understand what they're going through,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can see somebody's disposition and aura and energy and understand what they're going through. So yes, we are naturally storytellers, but because nobody ever compounded on that, hey, you can be, you can be that.
Right.
We got shot down. Boy, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody, why you drawing that? It's like you got penalized for being creative,
Mm-hmm.
Back then. And when I said black my buddy, if you ain't had a right, toy or black my buddy, like you was looked upon as a certain person or a certain kid.
Yeah.
Right. So even the thought of that is being a storyteller. Like I'm able to get this. I'm able to have my story around this black my buddy that you don't have, right? Because you don't see the vision. You laughing at me, right? Because y'all got the white my buddy, and I got the black. I
didn't even know it was a black my buddy.
Bro, I know I'm cool, but I'm only saying that. Listen. I know the black my buddy thing is gonna go somewhere after this, but I'm only saying that because when you asked a very specific question of who was Melo, who was Cello at that moment of 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
This is the things I was into.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing up the window, trying to see my brother play outside and trying to understand what's going on, why I can't go outside. That's big bro playing, why I can't go outside, not understanding the environment.
Right, the community, right.
Right,
Yeah.
so it was like a lot of things as a kid, man.
What at that time, what music did you gravitate towards? Not I'm sure you heard a lot of things because you had older siblings, and so you had to listen to what they listened to, but what music did you gravitate towards? What artist was that spoke to you?
That spoke to me, or what I grew up listening to?
No, which one spoke to you? I'm sure you grew up listening to.
So to me, it was like at the time where I can really understand the impact that a lyric is having. It was Rakim. Like, my brother used to play Rakim. It was Biz Marquee. You know what I'm saying? Like Biz was heavy in my household. So I always understood, kind of had the sound of music just based off of, those type of artists. They wasn't like everybody else. So I gravitated towards those type of artists. But as I got to Baltimore, it was more like, some of them, it was Purple Tape. Like it was, you know what I mean?
What's that?
Wu-Tang. It was
okay,
Wu-Tang.
What's Purple Tape?
No, I mean, so the
you talking about?
Listen, we used to call it the Purple. They came in a Purple Tape, cassette tape.
Okay.
So we used to call it the Purple Tape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some beat. That ain't happening in Chicago, bro.
Nah, but it was, used to call it the Purple Tape though. So, that was only built for Cuban links, right? So it was like I grew up on that type of music. That was like the music. That was like my soundtrack to my background, my backdrop.
Yeah.
I was hearing as a kid everything that I was dealing with.
Yeah. They were speaking right to you.
They were speaking directly to you.
Right, to what you seen, what you experienced.
Man,
they were speaking it.
All that I got
it.
is you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That song was like played over and over and over. Like watching that video when they in the projects and 7 a.m. plucking roaches out the cereal box. It's like, I could have a big ass cockroach come out this cereal box out here. So you relate to what you're seeing. So that was like my backdrop.
Yeah.
Ghostface, Raekwon, Wu-Tang, and Nas, like at the early Nas.
It's a lot of people, even in my life today, that when we share stories like that, right? Cockroaches coming out of the cereal box. They don't understand that we live that life.
Yeah,
that's you know what I mean? Like literally cockroaches coming out of the cereal box. That was the life we lived. Roaches, whatever you had in your community, they came out of everywhere.
They was friends. They
came out of
what I mean? You say, yo, what's up? You know what I mean?
Bro, my dad used to snatch them things off the wall. Like Like it was nothing.
I hated them, but I hated them things, but we ain't had no choice.
Yeah. So those individuals that that you listened to were storytellers. Once again,
all
right?
Storytellers.
They told stories that you can identify with, that made you feel seen, that made you feel like you weren't alone, right? Which is important, right? We understand with kids, if you don't see something or someone that's doing something or that is doing a certain act the way that you do them or you've seen them, then it feels foreign. But these artists are telling the story straight to you. You like, yeah, I got Cairo just coming out of the cereal box. They speaking to you.
Like, to that point, like I was like music, when you was talking about music and what music was doing for me, like, you know me personally, like I need music. You know what I'm saying? I need anything I do. I need music. I'm just the moods of Melo. Like
coin that. The moods of Melo.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in the pocket.
Coin that. That's
but
yours.
I was just always, my mom was soulful. My uncles and aunts, they were soulful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12 people in 3 bedrooms. You get so much information as a kid. So you start gravitating to sound. You start gravitating to who don't like what, as a family, what we like, what we don't like. So you take all of that. So by the time I got to 92, 93, 94, that Only Built for Cuban Links was my backdrop, and I'm actually understanding it better now. It's like, man, I went through that. So I wanted to be them. I wanted to be Nas, not be like Nas as a kid, like, damn, because he talking to me as a kid.
Yeah.
But they inspired me as a kid. I didn't want to be them. Like, I was smart enough because I grew up with uncles and aunts who really held things down. You know what I'm saying? Who had morals and standards and stood tall on their square. So I never wanted to follow nobody.
Yeah.
It was just I would take little pieces of information and I see how he moving, I see how he talking, you know what I mean? Like what's making it work and what's not.
One of my, I probably shared this with you before, but one of my favorite moments, even over our 20 years of relationship that we've had, was connecting over music. I don't know if you remember this moment. We were on vacation and you played the most Jadakiss I've ever listened to in my life. But we set up, we had some wine.
Yep.
We set up for hours, just you and I, and you played me music from your upbringing, from your community, from your hood. And I got a chance through that music to understand my friend a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And
music speak to you.
Music spoke to me, and I can see your expressions and see when that music hit, you be like, oh, listen to this, listen to this. And I was sitting there listening, and I got a chance through the music of a lot of the Fabulous and all the things that you had. You had me listen to some Fabulous that I ain't never heard, some Kiss I ain't never heard.
We had the mixtapes.
We were going deep into the New York bag.
It was cool though, because we was learning each other. Like, you know what I mean? So it ain't like we knew everything about each other. Like now we could talk 30 years of experience, 20 years of experience. Like then we was dealing with little pockets of each other. So at that moment, it was the energy, it was the environment that we was in, that it was a no judgment zone, right? And we was all filling each other out. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, what are the likes of each person? We still sizing each other up in a wonderful way, as far as like, oh, what do he like? What do he like? What he don't like? What is he into? What he not into? We know certain tidbits about each other, but I think that moment was a very critical moment in the growth of a friendship. Yeah, because music was like at that point we was vibing. Like we was just on there vibing. We ain't had no. Again,
first of all, we couldn't go nowhere.
We couldn't go nowhere. In the middle of the water. It's like middle of the water. It's just the vibe that you ask for. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the music also enhanced. You know what I mean? The backdrop enhanced the music enhanced our conversation and that energy.
Well, if someone is asking me in an interview about you, I always go back to that moment because, when you compete against someone and, obviously we're friends, we get to see each other when we play each other, or we get to talk, or we get to, see each other at All-Star games, but you ain't really getting in-depth relationship building. And at that moment, through that moment, we bonded. And also too, I don't know if you remember, that was the first time where I talked about my intro, like when I was getting into the wine industry.
Mm. What year was that? Where we was at?
It was 2014. It was like 2014, 20. It was somewhere around that time. I was just getting into the wine industry. And
it was it New York? Was it New York All-Star Weekend?
That was 2015. But when we were on a vacation, I was just getting into the wine industry.
Okay. So it's coming back. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. Okay. Actually, I had some of my wine that I poured. I poured for you.
Snuck that in.
Yeah, I snuck it in at the time. Now I didn't tell y'all that I was in it.
Tasted it.
I just had a little something, and I was just trying to see what y'all thought about it or whatever the case may be, because it was me, UCP, and Brian, and we were just all drinking wine one day. And I poured some wines that I had brought.
That's dope. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, just to see
but that's the way you do it. Like I'm doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
Yeah, it was early on.
I love that.
All right,
memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Like going back,
perspectives and stories and storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, because it was important for me. Even like I was entering this industry of wine, which we both are in, which we'll get to a little later. But it was important for me. Like my journey. You were there in the beginning when I didn't drink.
Yeah, hell no, he ain't drink.
Right, I ain't even drink, and so it was important for me that like I was like, I don't want to see what Melo face look like, because I don't know. I don't really know what I like yet. I'm just entering this industry.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy. The flip side the flip side of that story, while you don't know what you like, right? I only know what I like, right? Yeah. Meaning I wasn't as open to exploring other vineyards and regions and grapes, and I didn't want to. I was so like avid on, I gotta have a first growth Bordeaux. I got to. Like I'm not drinking nothing else. So I got stuck in that first growth Bordeaux New York mindset.
Anything else was like, oh, I'm like this.
Yeah, so it wasn't that. It was just like I wasn't introduced to anything else. Like it was like once I went from, Cali, Napa to first growths on my journey.
Yeah,
damn, I'm not doing nothing else. So I was on that journey at the same time. He was on that journey.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
It's crazy.
That's dope. So being a kid, man, and I think we all know that pivotal moment in our life when we looked at that ball and we was like, I love that ball. I want to do this for the rest of my life. You're not thinking that at that time, but when you're going to sleep, you thinking about it. When you're waking up, you're thinking about it. When you're in class, you're thinking about it. What point in your life do you remember early on where basketball became like the thing that brought you your confidence, the thing that brought you joy in the midst of the chaos of growing up in the jungle?
High school.
So it was at high school.
It was high school. When I baseball was my first love.
Okay, there we go. I just learned something. What? Talk to me about baseball.
I just love baseball. Maybe it's the Puerto Rican gene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just love baseball. And when I was in Red Hook, we had a court right outside the window of the projects, right? So, I love, I love playing basketball. I love going out there on the court. I love watching my brothers and family play and friends play, and I love playing on the monkey bars and jumping off the, imitating, being a kid. Yeah. But I didn't know it. I just knew it was an activity. When I got to Baltimore, I got a chance to play Little League baseball, baseball, and football season I could play football, and basketball I can play basketball too. It was like basketball was like third on the list at that point, but I can play it.
Yeah, I
just had something about it, a different style of game that they were seeing down there in Baltimore, right? So I bought that New York Flash and that, you know what I mean? That grit, that toughness down there to where I was at, on top of the grit and toughness that was already there.
Right, I was going to say that. What is Be More Basketball?
Be More Basketball is tough as it come. Grit, tough, get to it.
Did y'all play 21? Like, what was y'all game?
21, okay. We played 50. You know what I'm saying? We played 101. We played, you drive around somebody and you calling them out. Bet it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the culture.
Yeah.
This neighborhood got they basketball player. We got our basketball. You know what I mean? Let's go play. And a lot of that happened outside. It didn't happen in the rec center.
No.
So I was intrigued by that part of the game.
Okay.
Getting to it. I knew how to get to it as a kid. I knew I had to fight. I knew I got to push somebody into the fence. When I score, I got to, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, you got to exert that energy as a kid. You learn that as a kid.
Right.
So in Baltimore, coming from New York with that flashiness, and, you know, I didn't know what the hell I was doing at 9 years old. But when you get down there, it's like, oh, I can take my toughness on top of this grittiness and this environment that I'm in. Oh, this is a win-win situation for me. So I had that mentality young. But baseball was like,
what position?
Baseball.
What
I remember I was first base.
So you played first base. Were you a hitter? Were you a home run hitter? Talk to me about what kind of batter you were.
I was the baseball version of me as a basketball player.
Oh, so you went for it.
Yeah, I was going. It wasn't fun if I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was young. I was
yeah.
young, so it wasn't fun for me to get it to second base. Like, nah, I'm going.
Yeah, you swinging for the fences.
I say that I love baseball because I really was excited about baseball.
Yeah,
right. I was excited about doing the essays, to pass the essays so you can go play on the, make the team, and doing your book reports. And I was excited about that. I wasn't excited like that about basketball.
Now, we know baseball is, especially growing up, a white sport.
Yeah.
In B-more, when you was playing baseball.
Nah. So the Latino side,
okay,
is what we know. You understand? The Puerto Rican side is what we know. That's
right, because in America that's what. But right.
You know what I mean? That's baseball, and even in New York, it was baseball. Like, it was, hitting rocks and, playing T-ball and, baseball in the streets, and every car is a base. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was the sport that we had to
definitely every car is a base.
You know what I'm saying? We had to figure it out, but home base was somebody's stoop. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are things that I remember vividly. So when I got to Baltimore, I had a rec center where I can do all of these things. I can go right after school. I could sign up for baseball, basketball, football. They had a soccer team. Hell yeah, I'm signing up for soccer. I get to get out the hood. I get to get out my block.
So it's more Latinos in
No, it's no Latinos. No Latinos. I was a sore thumb in Baltimore. Okay. I'm coming there as a little Puerto Rican.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm looking Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? They looking at me like, oh, he's a Puerto Rican nigga from New York. Oh shit, like little New York. You know what I mean? So I had to fit in. I had to find a way to fit in. I have no friends. I moved in there in the summer of '92. In June of '92, it was the worst summer Baltimore has ever had in my neighborhood.
In what way?
Killings, drugs, homicides, everything.
And that was better than Red Hook.
And it was like, at least Red Hook, you was in a building. Like, you was in one building. You know what I mean? You had 6 floors in the building, so everybody. Baltimore was like, whew. But it was community. I learned what it meant to stand with your community and honor your community and represent those stripes of your community. I learned that. Even though it was rough, it was whatever happened, you're immune to that. Some of that stuff you just be immune to.
So growing up that way, is your mentality at this time when it comes to basketball it's an individual mentality? Like, we know now as we sit here, basketball is a team sport. But early on.
Today? Oh.
Well, more so like to win and to do the things that people say is other players out there. But did you have a mentality like, I got to go get it? And was it more the individual mentality, or was it like, oh, I'm gonna pass and I'm gonna get this guy a shot? Or was you like, I'm going to get this bucket?
Nah, I just had an understanding of who I was, right, as a kid and what I can do. I know I can score. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew that. Like, 8, 9, 10 years old, I knew I can score. I'm gonna get a bucket some way, somehow. If I gotta hang court, I'm gonna get a bucket.
Right.
So that came from playing as I got older outside, because you have to do whatever you have to do to win that one-on-one game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you got to do. Back down, foul, hit, bully. I got to get this bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my mentality. So when I went to play on a team sport, that was what I was known for. being tough, being a bully, being strong, you know what I mean? Hanging court, trying to get easy back, you know what I mean? Shit, like, just he won a bucket because I knew that win games at that age, you know what I'm saying? Because that's my mentality that I had outside playing, 1-on-1, 5-on-5, 2-on-2, under the lights, on the crates. You have to get a bucket. And that always stuck with me. Go get a bucket.
What about the other side? What about the defensive side of the game?
It was more pride. It was more pride of it.
It's just like someone not scoring on you. I'm not about to
it was
let
like
him.
I got too much pride. Like I can't go back to the block and he talking about you know what I mean? Because then that conversation leads to other things. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, no.
Oh, yeah.
No. And I also know what I'm representing behind me.
Okay.
My community, my neighborhood, my block, guys. You know, I'm representing something bigger than me.
Yeah.
So even as a kid, I did whatever I had to do. It wasn't about just scoring. It was like, I got to do what I got to do to win this game.
Okay.
If it's out there, I got to, go rebound. I got to go.
Whatever
it is at that age, you got to go get it. Whether you need 6, I got to go get 12 rebounds. You got to go get 12.
Yeah.
To win the game. So I always had that, like, the fear of, like, losing or not. I don't want to say failure, just like losing and somebody like, man, nigga suck. You know what I mean? I had that as a
I got you.
as a kid,
Yeah.
man. So you just you build this mentality, this mindset of just like a no bullshit mindset, and any situation that you're in, you have to go get it.
So you have Brooklyn Red Hooks, you have B More, but you also got this Puerto Rican side. You got Puerto Rico. Tell me about how that played.
Story.
Right. How did that play into this whole young Melo?
That's an interesting story. So my dad passed when I was 2. I remember going to a funeral. I don't remember, nothing. I just remember being at a funeral. And as I got older, my sisters on my dad's side always took care of me. I went back and seen them. I was my older sister.
In Puerto Rico?
No, they was in New York.
They were in New York, okay.
My family was in New York.
Okay.
Right? So I would go to Queens. I would go to Bed-Stuy. My sister was over there. My grandmom on that side was in Bed-Stuy. In Flat, in Bushwick, in Brooklyn. So I had family on the Puerto Rican side, all over Brooklyn. So I would go stay over there and spend time with my sister and nieces and nephews and things like that. I was into that side. I didn't understand it. I just knew this is fun. Like, I come home with my sister, I get to hang with my nephew. Sis taking care of me. I can get away from Red Hook. Right? So I had that duality, that both sides of that. So as I got older, and it wasn't until high school when I went to Puerto Rico and they wanted me to play on the junior national team, represent Puerto Rico. I knew I was Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the ties, and I knew my dad was Puerto Rican. I didn't know how deep it goes.
Right.
And honestly, like, that was a moment of like, I have to go figure this out. I got to start asking questions, because now I'm in this this void of like not having a dad, right? It's like, damn, like, I'm about to make it to the NBA. Like, dad ain't, this thing ain't here. Like, I wish he was here. I wish my cousin. You start having all of these moments. I'm doing it for him. And I started to kind of like search, man, what my dad was into. Like, everywhere I would go in Brooklyn, they were like, yo, your dad, you act just like your dad.
Mm-hmm.
You walk like your dad. You talk like your dad. Like, you pop shit. Like it's like your whole aura is your dad. I'm like, yo, what was what he was doing?
Right.
I hope he wasn't no sucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope he wasn't no sucker, man, please. But you hear all these stories, man, of just like, yo, your dad, man, Curly. My dad's name was Curly. They called my dad Curly.
Okay.
Curly. And even like when I got this Cuse, my dad was locked up upstate for a while. They called him Mr. Wonderful, right? He was scored like 50-something points upstate in the jail. So he was known as fly Puerto Rican fro, classy, you know what I mean?
Tall dude.
Tall, 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". but he hung with the blacks. So it was always that connection, Black Puerto Ricans. I always knew that connection.
Okay.
So as I'm on this road of discovery, Lon gives me a picture for Christmas. And I'm in Denver, and it's a painting. And on the painting, it's me as a kid, it's my dad. But he like in the jail pose, white beater on, red bandana, beret.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, other pictures I've seen, he got the black trench leather coat on. You know, he got the camel leather coat on, trench coat, like he's turtlenecks, you know what I mean?
Fly.
Fly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, this was everyday attire for him. That's something different. That's looking too powerful. What is that? And as I started to discover, I realized, okay, my dad was a young lord, right? But young lords are really basically the Puerto Rican version side Black Panthers.
The Black Panther.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the version of the Black Panthers. Whoever, depending on who you actually ask. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Right? So I started digging deep into what is a young lord? Oh, he look fly. So you start going, now I can use the internet. Now I start pulling up pictures and researching, like, oh, he's fly. Like, that's where I get it from. It makes sense. That's my revolution.
So you did your own discovery.
Revolutionary arm.
Yeah.
Seeing that. And now I can talk intellectually with the guys and the people and the women. Sitting down with them, going to Spanish Harlem and Brooklyn, and to sitting down and talking to the original young lords.
Yeah.
And they're telling me stories. And as they telling me stories, it's just like.
So you got your stories about your dad, not from your mom sitting there telling you. You got it from.
My mom told me, and this is probably the realest shit she ever told me. When you ready, I'm ready. You ain't ready yet, though. I mean, I ain't ready. What? All right, man. You on that?
Why you bugging?
Come on, I'm out, man. I've been here too long, man. But nah, she told me that, like, when you're ready, and you know, she said, you gonna know when you're ready.
Yeah.
When you're ready, I'll be ready. It took a while.
Yo, so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking how awful 2004 Olympic loss to Puerto Rico had to feel for.
When you're ready, I'll be ready.
I didn't even think about that. Losing to Puerto Rico in the Olympics in 2004.
It's all about being objective, man. That was.
Oh, man.
Now you see the stories that I'm telling you is adding up to the moment of, don't ask me, I didn't play in 2004 against Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know about that. Yeah. But I mean, the whole world heard about that, right?
Leading up to that.
Right.
Nobody knows.
Wow.
Right?
Yes, you're right.
It's like, yo, like I should have played with them.
Right.
I should have played with Puerto Rico. Yeah, and then
I'm over here not playing.
I left PR. I just was in PR. I left Puerto Rico about to say yay. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I realized that I plan on being in this league for a long time. USAB is the pinnacle of this. So at the time, Puerto Rico basketball wasn't, they was good at great players, had good players on the island, but it was like, I want USA basketball.
Yeah.
At
USAB
that moment.
was.
It's the prestige.
It's the highest honor.
At that point.
At that time, yeah.
At the time. It wasn't where we put it at.
Ooh, we lost to Puerto
You
Rico.
understand? So I'm gonna break the game. I'm gonna break it down to you from my perspective, right? 2004. I was gonna play with Puerto Rico. Bay. Just think about it. Yo, you ain't gonna never be able to play with
USAB.
All right, cool. All right, boom. Right after that, I get the call for 2004 Olympics.
Yep. Because all the players opted out.
Everybody opted out. So this is telling you where USAB was at that point in time. Everybody opted out. Mm-hmm. All the top dogs opted out.
Yep.
It was only a couple of people left. They call us. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, I'm playing. That mindset of I'm going to get to it. I'm playing Olympics. I'm going to get to it. I don't care who out there. I'm going to get. This is my mentality. Like, man, I get to play USA basketball Olympics after my first year in the NBA. Damn, okay. Like, this is what it is. Like, I can establish myself. This is dream team. And we go play that game in 04, get the shit beat out of us, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
You know, and because I'm not playing, I'm seeing the slow death, like it's just unraveling. Puerto Rico is getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and the game just start opening up.
Oh man, you starting to make so much more sense to me now. I thought you was just pissed that you weren't playing because you were that guy,
bro.
Like right, like
no,
bro, you were a 20-point scorer as a rookie.
Bro, this is why I don't speak. You understand? This is, it's a time for everything. But no, I wasn't pissed off because I wanted to play. I knew what I was up against,
right?
But I also was a little bit tight because we were killing on the exhibition,
right?
The young guns.
We were hooping.
Yeah. So when we get to the Olympics, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is our role on the team.
To come in, bring that energy, be young.
If we down, bring it back up. If we up, keep it up.
Yeah.
That was my mentality. And then it's like we get to match up with Puerto Rico. So like, damn, like I was about to play. That's the team I'm about to play with. Yo, we gotta get them. Like I gotta play today.
Shout out to Carlos World. Shout out to
Loso.
Shout out to Loso.
Yeah, man. I have to play in this game. And then you don't play.
Okay.
And then you know, at the end you get caught as a 19, 20-year-old. Oh, what do you think about the Puerto Rico? Shout out to Puerto Rico. Yeah, shout out to Puerto Rico. Yeah, you let your emotions out
right away.
Shout out to Puerto Rico. Yeah, like I'm not about to say nothing bad about Puerto Rico. Yeah, shout out to Puerto Rico. Yeah, that was a great game by Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me. Like,
wasn't in there.
I didn't
wasn't in there.
I wasn't in there. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't saying it like disrespectful. I was just saying it like a teenager would say it.
Right.
I don't know, man. I ain't play. Go ask him.
It's the image. It's the no shirt on.
No, it was crazy.
Did you have the backwards hat on?
It was crazy, man. It was the image that they put out there.
It's the image,
man. It's
yeah.
the image that they put out there and on the sideline. I know that image. I have that image in my crib. Just on the sideline. I look at it every time. Like, that's where this shit started.
Really? Okay. So stand on that same wavelength of your father. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about fatherhood, right?
Thanks.
And so I know as we, you know how we are, man. Whether we're raised by our father or we're not raised by our father, we always want to be better, right? I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a better father, whatever the case may be. So how did you approach early fatherhood when it came to being a young parent with Kiyan?
Yeah. I didn't know. I looked at it as, yo, damn, I got my son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I got a son. Like, we gonna have fun together.
Yeah.
I was projecting what I was missing, meaning not having my dad around at 2 and growing up in Baltimore, Red Hook. I'm projecting shit that I used to say, like, damn, man, I wish my dad could see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game. I wonder what my dad would have did. You know what I mean? He'd have came outside and seen me fighting. Or, you know what I mean? Like, little things like my dad ain't never teach me how to ride a bike. Like, those things is like, damn. As you get older, so when Kai came, it's like, holy shit, I get to do this all over again. You about to ride a bike at 3 months. That was the actual excitement. Like, it was more like a little brother to me at that point in time because I was always the little brother. Mm-hmm. And I always craved for a brother. Like, not a younger brother. Like, I wish I had a younger brother that I can be a big brother to. So when Kai came, I was still in that, like, damn, man, I'm going to take all the game. I'm taking them over here. We going to do this. And I'm going to dress him like this. And I'm taking, like, all the things that you wanted to do.
He was your black my buddy.
He was my black my. And but that's so real, right? When you really put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Right? It was a void it was something that I was wanting, that I was needing, that I was yearning, which was my buddy to be around he was my little brother. Now that I put the knowledge to everything, it's like, that was my little brother. That was the the part I was yearning. So I felt good with the Black my buddy. With Kai, it was the same. He was my buddy at that point in time.
Yeah.
And that's a true fact. And I carried it like that. He going everywhere with me. It's my son. This is my number. It's my firstborn. This is seed. This is me.
Yeah. I'm gonna do what I didn't have with my dad. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna give him everything I didn't have.
We going to haunted house. I ain't never been to haunted house. Going on, hell yeah, we going to haunted house. You want to go to 3? Come on. It's whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it became, I was able to have some type of standards and morals that he can look up to as a little kid growing up. 1, 2, even though he probably didn't understand it, he saw my dad wake up, boom here, boom there, like he's going to work. So as he get older, he understand, all right, Dad, you going to work. Like, I go get to it. I get it. You start having that type of rapport with him. You start having that type of rapport with him to the point where now it's like we could sit here just like this and have that rapport.
Right.
And you would still be my son, but I also feel like that void is filled.
Yeah.
Of the Black my buddy.
Yeah.
Because I got
you.
You know what I'm saying? I got you. That void is filled. That's real.
I know about it. Obviously, I had Zaire when I was 19, 20 years old. So let's move on to some hoop, bro. All right, let's move on to.
Can I pour?
Man, you can do. Please pour me some as well. So, first of all, as I think about you, I remember being in New York a couple summers ago, maybe like 2 years ago. We went to the restaurant, and bro, you poured so much wine. You remember that? We were there, bro, about 5 in the morning.
A good day. Good day. Good
we were sitting in the restaurant about 5 in the morning. We 51 minutes in? Wow. Okay. Well, we rocking. Let's go to hoop, bro. So now high school was when you started when you was in B-More, high school. Yeah. What made you leave B-More and go to Oak Hill? What happened there?
I was forced out. You got to get out of B-More. You got to go.
Oh, okay. That kind of forced out.
You got to go. You got to go. Don't even play around with this.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere. I was hiding the day they came to get me to drive me to Oak Hill. And my man crib in the P's, like in the projects, like, yo, you bet not answer the phone. Somebody come to the door, you haven't seen me. I'm not going to Oak Hill, bro. I'm not going to Oak Hill.
Why Oak Hill?
So let me go back to your question, though. So it was a point in time. So I went to high school at Towson Catholic. Got to get to school, however way you got to get to school. 2 hours, 1 hour and a half, train, subway, whatever. Cabs, people on the block, whatever. Mm-hmm. I was always late because of.
You move a little slow though, bro. You.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You move a little mellow.
I do. So imagine 6 a.m., 6:30 mellow. It's like at that age. But now I couldn't be slow because I had to meet my times. This bus is based off of this train. It's based
connects
off
to this.
Yeah, so you got to be. Yeah. You got to be on it. So every time I was just always like walk in the door, time, boom. So I step foot, the bell ring. All right, cool. I ain't late. Go to class, but I wound up. My transcript started being crazy because I was enrolled in 2 schools. Coming out of 8th grade, I was going to another high school with my man Kenny Minor, right? So he was going to Dunbar High School, which was the prestige high school, one of the powerhouses of high school basketball. Yep. I was going to go there. I started to go there. I was enrolled in Dunbar High School. Me and my best friend, we go, boom, boom. We the only 2 from West Baltimore going to school in East Baltimore. It was just like, what are we doing? But anyway, as I'm going to school, stepping foot into the classes at sometimes, like 2 weeks into school, I get Towson Catholic saying the financial aid goes through. So now I can go to Towson Catholic. Originally, I wanted to go to Towson Catholic. Right. That's the Catholic League was the best thing. And you know what I mean? Like Catholic League is
But you
big.
couldn't get in at first.
I had to wait for financial aid, which is a whole nother story. I never even knew my mom was paying to finance. You get what I'm saying? Like I thought I had a scholarship. Cool. That's a whole nother beef I got with that. So I'm like, oh, cool, Towson Catholics. I'm going. Like I boogie. I just go to Towson Catholic. I don't unenrolled, if that's a word. I didn't unenroll from is that a word? Unenrolled or something?
Unenrolled.
I didn't unenroll. You know what I mean?
It's a word on this podcast.
Right,
unenrolled.
I didn't unenroll from Dunbar. So my transcript never was closed on that side. So by the time I got to my junior year, #1 player, it was, what am I gonna do next year? You can't come back here. You can't come back. You caused it too much trouble. You caused it too many problems. Bringing too much attention to the Catholic, to the, you know what I mean, to the archdiocese is like, nah. You don't want to cut your hair. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm dealing with all of this.
Yeah.
I had detentions because it wasn't I was like bad. It was my tie wasn't straight. My hair was a certain length. I could wear this type of boot, but I can't wear that. Like, you know what I mean? So they was really like,
you was on your Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
They was picking with me. Like, you know what I mean? They was really picking with me. And they used to give me detentions, and I used to get detentions and add on. So after the school year, my junior year, they told me I had to make my detentions up. I got to come down summertime. Right? We deep in summer. And I got to get back up there. 2 hours. I never want to come back up here in the summertime, 2 hours, get on the train. I don't got no ride up there. And you want me to come do detentions. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go up there, do like 2-3 days. We sitting there clapping chalk powder and shit like that, washing the desk. And so I'm not doing this no more, man. This is crazy. Just to get my transcript, just to pass to go to my senior year, you bugging. Just kicked me out. My transcript was so bad because I was enrolled at Dunbar High School. So I couldn't get my transcript. I had to go to summer school. I had to go to night school that summer before I went to Oak Hill to get my grades up. So now I'm in Lean on Me, like the movie Lean on Me.
You know,
night school. I'm coming through in the craziest high school in Baltimore City, Frederick Douglass High School.
At night.
From 4 to 8, from 4 to 7. Anything and everything you can imagine is happening there at night school. But I'm cool. I gotta get my grades. My transcript is messed up. So I did all of that to go back to Towson Catholic for them to tell me I can't come back. So at that point, it was like, oh, fuck y'all. I'm going back to Dunbar. We're gonna be the top dogs. And now I'm who I am.
You're #1 player at this time.
Like in the state, though.
In the state,
like,
right.
So the state is mine at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The city and state is mine. Me and my man Kenny, we running the whole city at this point in time. So I get a call. I had committed to Syracuse my junior year on my birthday. That was like my birthday gift to me. I committed. That summer happens. Somebody calls and say, yo, you getting out of Baltimore.
Not the somebody call. Somebody call.
Somebody call. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he really want me to.
Yeah, no.
Say, I ain't really big on names.
I like the somebody call.
Somebody called and was like, yo, you going to Oak Hill. You getting the fuck out of Baltimore. Like, you bet not go to Dunbar. You can't spend your senior year in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You can't.
Wow.
It's impossible. You're already on that path of going left. Like, no, we getting you the fuck out of Baltimore. And he had a real conversation with me. Yo, if you don't go, man, like, you really putting a lot of things at jeopardy. All right, cool. Yeah, all right, man. Like, I'm sitting outside on my steps, on my block. Man, all right, cool, man. Yeah, all right, man, whatever. Yo, Kenny, look, they call you, don't answer. They come to the crib, don't answer. You ain't see me in a couple days. I'm not going to Oak Hill, bro. And I went down there, like, let's go down there to visit. Go down there to visit. We drove down there in the middle of the night. Let me out. They peel off. Left me in Oak Hill.
Not they peel off.
And the rest is history. I called my mom. Yo, Mom, I don't know where I'm at. Please send me a bus ticket. Send me the Greyhound ticket. When you there, son, like, don't call me, man. Like, figure it out.
Figure it out. That's how Melo got to Oak Hill.
That's the Oak Hill story.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to do summer school at Oak Hill, so I couldn't go to no camps. My junior year, going to that summer in between junior senior, I had to get my grades right.
Okay.
So I had to go to. That's why Sonny Vaccaro allowed me to go to Adidas, and I was at a Jordan school because
Facts.
Nike
Yeah,
had me
was
on the
Jordan
waiting
school.
list, on the honorable mention or wait, whatever it was back. They had me on the waiting
To go to
list
Nike camp.
To go to Nike camp, bruh.
You still feel a way about that. I just seen it in your face.
Yeah, bro. What? All right, cool. So I'm mad I can't go to camps that summer. I'm just mad because I'm missing Nike.
You want to go hoop, and you one of the best.
Or I can't go to Adidas, ABCD, because I'm at Oak Hill, which is a Jordan school. So it's like, can't do that. I'm missing Eastern Invitational. I'm missing 5-star. I'm missing like this is my summer, going into my senior year. And I'm sitting at Oak Hill and trees and woods and cows and like, this ain't life, bro.
So at this point, so your junior year, all right, now you're the number one player in the state. Is NBA
Never.
like, why not?
Never.
I've heard you say this so many times.
Never.
Why not?
Never.
It just seemed too far-fetched.
It was NBA to me was like the Wiz, like the Wizard of Oz. Like it was like no, that's impossible to make it. Like you get so hammered down and you would never make it. You would never make it. You would never make it. Statistics, right? You become a 1 out of every 5,000.
Yep.
Like you
1 in 1 million.
Bro, you hear that? I was hearing that since 8th grade. So cancel them basketball dreams and cancel them.
You're not
going to
make it. Cancel your dreams.
They not coming to West Baltimore, to Myrtle Avenue to come get you. So get that dream out your head. Like, go be a cop.
Even though you're nice.
Fireman.
Even though you're nice.
Man, them dreams is washed. They kill your dreams before you even have a chance to dream. That's real. And we don't even know that. We just, that's tough. Be tough. Be tough. No, you constantly tell somebody, man, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Stop thinking like that. You a killer kid.
Yeah.
And you get what I'm saying? So you become immune to, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're right. Like, and then you start seeing stories of how hard it was for guys to make it to the NBA and videos. Like, man, I can't do that. That's impossible.
It's different today. Every kid think they're going to make it.
Right. So
every kid that play basketball think they're going to make it today.
And I think it was a fleeing thing for me, like, just to kind of like, I ain't going to make it, so let me stop thinking about that. All right, cool, I'm moving on to something else.
Okay.
Like, block that out because of those statistics and just the people saying that you ain't going to do shit. Like, you ain't going to be nothing. Biggie was right, man. You ever sling a crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your teachers is telling you, you hearing these from your teachers. These are the leaders. These are the educators. The scholars is telling you, boy, put that ball down.
So do you understand why they were saying that? Or do you feel like they shouldn't say that, period, to kids? Do you understand?
I understand why they say it
now,
but you still don't say it.
Right, the way that they said and how they said it.
Right is right, wrong is wrong, but right was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in those cases, like, you got to encourage kids. Like, if that's your dream,
right?
Boom.
Then this is what you need. You need to do everything to try to do that. I'm going to do my part as a leader, as a scholar, as an educator to help you get to that. Not shut the door on you when they tell you to write your goals and your dreams on the little index card and you write it down and they like, basketball player, why NBA? Why get out of here? Right.
Well, you'll be right over there in a couple, like, it's.
So that's going into the next year, I mean, I see images, I see video. And I didn't know the story beforehand, but I do know when I got introduced to Carmelo Anthony. And a lot of it was because LeBron James, right? For me, because it was these two powerhouses. And I didn't even know nothing about neither one of y'all because we're different time.
Yeah, of course.
But was it Oak Hill when you and Brian got introduced to each other? Or was it before Oak Hill that you knew?
So it was. I'm a year older, so
right?
A grade older,
right?
So I was we go to USA camp. It's crazy. It's the irony of I just came back from that with Kiyan. The same thing.
Yeah. Like
it's crazy. I'm sure you'll get to that, but that's crazy. Sitting there, and I was there in 2001 doing the same.
That's crazy.
The same thing. I'm sitting there like, he like, yo, Dad, why you so serious? I'm like, you don't understand what's going on in my mind right now. But that's another thing. But so we meet really at USA.
Okay.
On an invite where they invite everybody and they break the teams down to North, East, South. You know what I mean? So.
And this is what year?
This is I want to say 01.
Okay.
2000. Okay. I want to say around 2000 or 01.
Okay.
And we there, and it's like, you just catch the energy of, in those type of environments when you're around all the players, like good players. Guys automatically gravitate towards each other without you even saying nothing. Mm-hmm. And slowly, by the time that camp is over, y'all gonna be side by side. You link.
You link what you got, yeah.
And slowly we was building that. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? We was slowly building that. We ain't know when we was building it, but it was like, he seemed cool. Like, he got good energy. Like, all right, cool. We hang out after the courts, after practice, go outside at night, everybody outside, the girls team, guys team. We just, we all there having a good time, outside talking shit and playing with USA basketball. And after that, boom. It wasn't like no communication. How the fuck we gonna communicate?
Right.
Like,
it's a whole different world at the time.
Going back over there, I'm going back to B-more. I might not never see you again.
You going to Ohio, you going to B-more.
I might not never see you ever again.
Right.
But it was real. You know what I'm saying? If we do meet, it's real.
Yeah.
And go to Oak Hill. The year before I went to Oak Hill, they play Oak Hill. St. Vincent, St. Mary's play Oak Hill. They lose.
St. Vincent lose.
St. Vincent's lose to Oak Hill. Mm-hmm. Yes. If I'm not mistaken. I come the next year. So now they already got a 2-year deal of playing each other this year and next year. Mm-hmm. It's the get back. Mm-hmm. I'm not thinking about this is the get back for him. You know what I mean? Like, This is the second time he's playing Oak Hill. They just beat them like, now the hype. I get it. So that's when we met. Like, now we like meet at the hotel, boom, and it's like, damn, you, me, similar situations. You going with your mom, going with my mom, mm-hmm. Like
similar upbringing, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm telling him my story, he telling me his story, and it's like we connected on little pieces. Mm-hmm. Man, little brother, damn, I wish I had a little brother too. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay. And then you became interested in his story. I became interested in his story. But by the time I'm interested in his story, I got to run out on the court and play him. So it's the buildup of all of this. I'm sitting here. I'm a senior. He's a junior. So we sitting there. Then it's All-Star Weekend in Philly. I'm hype about Philly. I ain't thinking about the game. I'm hype about, who coming to the game? Like, right. So, how you gonna get over there? I'm the number one player, so I'm trying to get to Philly.
Right.
The hype is in Jersey. So we play, the game happens, and the buildup to that was so astronomical, like for high school basketball at that point in time. And to be honest, I had no understanding of what it was. I was just like, man, I get to play against Bron. Like, shit, this is big time.
Right. He nice, I'm nice, let's go.
He nice. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's it. I got to get to it. That's the only thing I'm thinking, man. He can't get best of me today. You know what I mean? Like,
and it was a game. So the game was in Jersey.
The game was in Jersey.
It was in Jersey.
Yeah, the primetime shootout in New Jersey. They put that game together. Son of a cat. You know what I mean? You know how the inner workings of all of that work. It works. You know what I mean? It's Air, the movie Air.
Yeah, I get
know
it.
What I'm saying?
You already know.
We experienced. I was a part of that experience on his behalf. So it just so happened I was older, a year older. I had already committed to go to Syracuse, and that was the game that was marked on the schedule for Oak Hill. That was the game, and just so happened I was a part of that. If I wasn't there, that game would have still been marked on the schedule.
Right.
So me coming into that fold is like, now we really got some action.
You heightened it. Like, you took that moment to a whole nother level.
Yeah, we got motion now. Oh, now we got to put this on TV.
Yeah.
Now they TV game, ESPN. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is where all of that kind of started.
Was that the first TV game? Was that the first big TV game?
I want to say that, but I don't want to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know they fact checked out here now, man. But you know, I want to say that, but I could
They
be
keep
wrong.
receipts.
They keep receipts. You gotta be careful.
Now you've committed to Syracuse already, and I have this iPad just to show you the photo that you probably know and you've seen, but this is for everybody else, right? So
Bringing me back.
now you go to Syracuse.
Yeah.
You've committed your junior year. You know where you're going.
Yes.
You play 1 year at Syracuse.
Yes.
I go on record to say the first time I seen Melo play in person was in New York at Madison Square Garden. We were in the same tournament. We didn't play each other, but we was in the coaches versus cancer tournament to start the year off.
We played Memphis.
Y'all played Memphis.
Yes.
And we played Villanova.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this player that I've heard about in high school. They're supposed to be nice, but I'm like, I'm kind of hating a little bit. I'm like, let me see what this is.
And he older.
I'm older. I'm sitting here. I'm my second. I'm a sophomore in basketball, but I'm a junior. I was supposed to be a junior, but I sat out a year. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching. You had like 30. You would get getting to the money. It looked so easy, and I was sitting there like, damn. I ain't never seen this up close and personal. You were doing it with a smile. You were doing it with a flair. You were just hooping. Yeah. And I was like, this is the best. I think this is the best basketball player I watched with my own eyes. Because man, I ain't seeing MJ and all with my own eyes, but in my own eyes, I'm like, this is the best player I've ever watched. I walked away from there like, yo, this is the number one pick in the draft next year.
Yeah.
In my mind. Now I've never seen LeBron at this time, right? And so you go through that year, and obviously it ends. It ends this way, right?
Wow.
Right? This is how it ends. This is young.
That's
19? How old are you?
I was 19.
You were 19. When you got to Syracuse.
That's the moment.
This the moment right here.
I remember that moment, like what was going through my head at that moment. But I'm going to let you ask the question.
When you got to Syracuse, was this moment something you dreamed of, you thought that was possible?
Never.
Okay.
And if you notice, my story is always never. Did you dream about the NBA? Never. Did you think about winning a national championship?
Never.
Never. Because those things wasn't reachable to me. Those was never my goals. And also, I had a problem with attachment at that point in time during my teenage years because of everything I was getting attached to. It was being
taken away.
Cousins, family, friends. Every time
Be more, gotta go.
And be more, you know what I mean? Everywhere. Oak Hill, Towns of Cali, gotta go. Oak Hill, next year. Boom. Syracuse 1 year. It's like my whole career was like double dutching almost. You know what I'm saying? So I never got a chance to really reflect on anything that I've ever done. So my point is, I never thought about college. It was just like, yo, about leaving college or winning a national championship. It was, damn, yo, I want to go to college. I want to be there. Yo, it's crazy.
You just thought about like, college.
4 years gonna be great. Like this was when you go to college, you stay 4 years.
Yeah.
There wasn't a culture of leaving one and dones. Like, no, I never even heard of that. That was like, oh, he did that. He is special. He did one and done.
Right.
It was like 4 people.
That's a unicorn, like
that's like coming straight out of NBA and producing.
Right.
I'm like, nah, like, man, I might do that. Like, I'm like, man, I'm going to school. I'm planning for 3-4 years.
That's crazy.
I'm about to be on campus going crazy because that's what I grew up underneath. People going to school for 3-4 years and building as they get, the more years you're on campus, the more
your stock
comfortable
rises,
you get, your
so
stock
forth and so on.
rising,
Yeah.
people, and you know what I mean? It's like, this is what college is supposed to be about.
Right.
I'm not thinking going one and done. Never even crossed my mind. When I did a press conference after we won it, everybody thought I was kidding when I said, I thought you're supposed to stay in school for 4 years, not 1. I was dead ass serious when I said that because they was chanting 1 more year. And I'm like, why? I might come back.
He's like, what y'all talking about 1 more?
It was a pep rally. I'm like, well, I might come back. If we don't win this,
I'm coming back.
Even if we do win it, I might come back.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, bro, you win this, your ass is out. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm coming back. Like, it take you a year in college to get your feet wet. You gotta go through the weather, you gotta go through not seeing people, the ups and downs, ebb and flow of college, and then You got to go through the winter, the fall and winter to get to the spring and the good times. By the time you get to the spring and the good times, it was time for me to go. So I'm like, man, we just won it. Like, how can I experience college? I'm coming back.
Your college experience wasn't really an experience.
I was at the end.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is what college is supposed to be about. Before it was like 30 inches of snow. You still got to go to class.
Right. So you got April and May.
I got March, April, May. To turn up.
Turn up. You got 3 months.
To turn up.
Yeah. So for the listeners out there, and we talked about it before, I seen Melo play that first game, but I never met Melo until the Final Four.
Yes.
Until we both were in the Final Four. It was Syracuse, it was Texas, it was Kansas, and it was Marquette.
Wow.
What did you think of, what was you thinking at that time? What were you thinking about, like, obviously Syracuse and Kansas and Texas and then Marquette? Talk to me about what was you feeling?
The way I felt about Marquette was the way that people felt about Cuse. We wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
Yo, our cards were so stacked against the deck. Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Auburn. Manhattan was the first game, which was a tough game until we opened the game up at, you know what I mean, at the end. But that was a stacked deck against us. So every game that we won, by the time we got to the Final Four, it was like, man, we here.
We here,
man,
baby.
we don't care what, you know what I mean? Like, we here, man. We gonna go out here and just play our game, just have fun. Yo, we here, 60,000. Like, we gonna play our game and hoop. We win, we win. If we don't, we don't. We already overachieved. We overachieved when we beat Oklahoma. Nobody thought that. They was #1 seed. Beat them almost by 20. We overachieved when we was down 16 at Oklahoma State at half, came back.
Yeah, I remember that.
Overachieved in Texas in the final. We overachieved. Auburn, Marquise Daniels, and we overachieved. We wasn't supposed to be in those
Marquise
situations.
Daniels was nice too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Keith's
we wasn't supposed to. He was killing our zone in the middle of the zone. Like, we wasn't supposed to beat those teams. So every game we just gain confidence. So by the time we get to the Final Four, it's like we looking at it. Hey, I know Marquette probably crazy. Ain't nobody saying that they gonna win. It's like we saying the same thing about Marquette, but it's like, but we gotta meet Marquette. Like, it's like, man, fuck Texas. I mean Kansas, and we don't want them. Like, we already 5-4-0 against the Big 12.
Right.
We want to play against somebody that's different. We want Marquette. And we actually thought we was gonna play y'all, bro. Like, we was in the room cheer, like, yo, go get this nigga D-Wayne, get this. Cause you just came off the quadruple double or whatever.
Triple double versus Kentucky
You
to get to the Final
came
Four.
off of that. So I'm like, yo, and y'all on the other side.
Yeah.
So we rooting for y'all.
Yeah, we supposed to meet y'all in the finals.
Right. So we like, yo, Marquette, D-Wayne gonna do it. He gonna do it. Every time, yeah, we gonna do it. Like, we gotta play these motherfuckers. Texas, Kansas.
I just knew we were gonna play Syracuse, dog.
It was so crazy, man. Now that we can reflect back on that. A lot of things, it was written. Like, that was the play.
That was a play.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
To be honest, like, yeah, it's me and Bron. That was the story. Me and you in the championship, and it's find the national championship. I'm just saying, when you talk about putting things in perspective,
man.
It's like what I don't like doing what could have been and what ifs. It is what it is.
Right.
But that could have been something totally different.
I'm like, my mind go. I'm like, because in my mind at that time, I'm like, all right,
you was going.
We the. It's the perfect matchup because we got shooters, they got a zone, they got length, we got. So in my mind, I'm like, this is the perfect matchup for us. I ain't saying overlook Kansas because they beat our ass, and you want to overlook in Texas, but I wanted the Syracuse matchup because I felt we matched up better versus y'all than we did versus anyone else. So I was like, all right, we can get through them. Get the zone because we had shooters.
Y'all had slashers. You was a
we
slasher
had slashers
too.
And we had Novak the shooter. We had Dinger as shooters.
If you knew how to slash, you was 10 out zone up.
Right, and I'm slashing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay.
That's why we was like, That's all. That's all. Oh my God. That's all. But yeah, man, that was again, man, I get a chance to reflect on all of these years because I never had a chance to.
Yeah, when you're playing, you're so focused and committed on what you got to do.
I went from junior year to Oak Hill in a couple months, Oak Hill to Syracuse in a couple months, Syracuse to the NBA in a couple months, and it's like every season just started to compound, and then it's like you don't get a chance to reflect. It took me 9-10 years to watch the national championship game because you don't have that time to just
sit back. Yeah,
no. And it's not. So you start wondering now why everybody feel like it's 10 years later. Why everybody talk about the Syracuse? It's been done.
Yeah.
When do you understand it? You start learning it, understanding. You start putting things into perspective, and you start appreciating it a lot more.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching you. You got it. So my bird's eye view, right? You down on the court and you have a whole nother emotions and everything going on. I'm up here. I'm furious inside.
Yeah, you got your own emotions.
I got my own emotions, and I'm sitting here and not from you. I don't know you like that, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I'm coming back next year.
Yes.
Because in my mind, I want that.
You was close.
I'm too close. I'm coming back. I got 2 more years of eligibility. Coach, I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very similar to, I'm sure, that Coach Boeheim told you, get your ass up out of here.
He did, man. It was when we got back off the plane coming from New Orleans that year. It was mayhem. Like from the airport to the campus.
Can't imagine. Crazy.
It's about 10 to 15 miles. From the airport to the campus, about 10, 15. It was packed. It took us damn near 3 hours to get from the airport with people.
So I had a parade without
before
having
the parade.
Right. You had a bus parade.
We ain't even had a parade yet. It was just, you couldn't go.
Yeah.
You just was there. So by the time we get to campus, the party, shit is burned down, cars is burned, trees, you know what I mean? Like it's real national championship college atmosphere. And a couple days go by, and you're like, come to the office. Now that we calm down and, I got the monkey off my back. That's what he said. He got the monkey off his back. He say, what you doing, man? I'm like, talk to me. I'm getting agents calling, teams is calling, NBA teams. But man, I'm trying to hit the party later on, man. I ain't trying to talk about no agent, no NBA. Like, I'm trying to go. We got the party on the quad. I'm going to the party with the quad.
Right.
I'll see you later.
You're 19 years old.
I'm not thinking about no agent. I'm not thinking about, man, you handle, like, you talk to that. You talk to that.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy this moment. And for 2 weeks straight, we just party on campus. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like Syracuse they've been in that position before. In 83, 87, I think, Keith Smart hit the same shot from the corner that Hakeem blocked in the same stadium.
Wow.
Indiana.
Yeah,
Syracuse,
I know the shot that
Keith Smart.
Yeah.
Mike Woodson in there. Yeah.
Yeah, he drained that shot in that corner. I remember Keith hit that joint. Shout out to Keith Smart.
Keith Smart
He's my
hit
coach.
that shot, bro. Like, so when that shot is going on, Hakeem blocks it. Shit changes. It freezes because in our mind, this is all we was playing. Was that shot in the corner by Keith Smart. So by the time we get to back to Cuse, fast forward, we sit down and he's just like, what you doing? I'm like, man, I'm about to have a press conference and saying I'm coming back. What? He said, what? Listen, I'm going out there, we do the press conference. If you say that you coming back, you're not allowed back. I'm going to say it on national television. You're not allowed back. So, yo, why are you kicking me out? Like, I'm really starting to love this. Like, I'm really starting to love this place.
You're trying to find a home. You're trying to find a family.
I've been on the road for 3 years, just boom, 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 boom. So Cuse is like, finally I could rest my head. It's home. I won.
Right. I'm good here.
For life. And you telling me to go. He told me, get my shit and go. I don't want to see you back on this campus. leave your stuff though. Like you could leave everything. You could buy more of that. Like,
but you gotta go
nowhere. Man, I'm still in my apartment. I'm still driving around camp. Man, I'm not going nowhere. This man is crazy. Then I did the press conference with him. In the press conference, I'm like, shed a tear, man. Like, man, like, I gotta leave.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
So to not go through every step of the way you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were the number 3 draft pick in one of the most iconic drafts in the world. In 2003, one of the most iconic drafts ever. You go to Denver.
Yes.
At the 3rd pick. You're a Jordan athlete, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? You got your own mellows, and you got the whole swag. Tell us about Denver. Tell us about that experience. Coming from where you come from, right? Coming from New York, coming from B-More, Syracuse.
I love Denver Melo.
Okay.
Right? From the simple fact that I'm going to keep reiterating, I was 19, 20, like 19. So coming into an organization, a city, it's like, here, like here, help. You know, we had just won 16, 17 games the year before. Like, I understood that coming into to Denver. I never thought about Denver though. I thought I was going to Detroit. So Denver was never in my mind.
So you thought you were going to be the number 2 pick in the draft?
That was sold. It was done.
Yeah.
Which was
you were told that, and
I was told
that. Okay.
Yeah, by him. You know, I want to get with him one day, but I was told that by him that you're gonna be the pick. So in my mind, my confidence shoots straight up. I'm on campus and I get this information. Oh, this is you giving them out on Detroit.
Yeah,
I'm getting Detroit sweatsuits. I'm getting the practice basketballs. I'm getting NBA socks with I'm Detroit Piston in college.
Right.
Then it don't happen. So I never.
When did you know it wasn't going to happen?
The draft day.
So you didn't know until draft day.
Yeah, I kind of have inklings,
because they was talking about Darko.
They started talking about Detroit, and anytime somebody start talking about something, all of a sudden, some shit is happening.
Something happened.
So as we hearing it about Darko, we shoot to Detroit. We got to go find where Darko was working. Now we got to get to it, D-Wade. We got to find him, man. Where they hiding him at?
Right.
We going to work out with him.
Right.
We pulling up. They was ducking. They was hiding. No, he's not in that gym. Where's he at? First of all, Detroit Pistons is in Detroit. This kid is working out for Detroit Pistons. So somebody know where this kid is at. We gonna find him. We going to every gym. This is a true story. We going to the gym. We want Darko. We want to work out.
Wait, hold on. So you,
we want to work out.
Detroit to find.
We want to Detroit. We want to work out. We want to find him
to do what?
To show I'm the number 2. I might be the number 1 pick. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So I got to prove that. And you.
Now you tell me I ain't gonna be the number 2 pick, and I think I might be number 1 pick.
Now I know. Okay. Cleveland, they may take Bron, but they'd be a fool if they don't take Bron.
Right.
So I know that. And I'm already got the basketball from Detroit, sweatsuit Detroit, bags. I'm going to Detroit. So yeah, I got to find this guy. Wherever he's at, I got to get to him. I got to get to him. I got to play him. I got to show what time it is with these scouts.
I like that.
So they gave us a runaround. Come back to the draft. Draft week, now the Detroit conversation is picking up with Darko, and it's like, who the fuck is this guy, man? Who is this guy?
Came out of nowhere.
Who is this guy? It came out 2 weeks ago. We sitting down. It's a picture that me and Bron is sitting at an angle, and I'm leaning this way. He's talking to me.
I remember.
And he's like, yo, you was there. He's like, yo, you next. So I'm like, yo, he's like, man, we're going to be playing. You in Detroit, I'm in this rival.
Detroit, Cleveland, yeah.
Man, get the call. Yo, Detroit said they taking Darko in the green room before the number 1 pick though.
Okay.
Yo, we got to shift to Denver. Like Denver. Yo, I ain't work out for Denver. Like I had a terrible workout in Denver. I went to Denver, almost died in altitude.
It was rough in that altitude.
I did 5 spots and said, listen, Kiki Vanderway was like, yo, Melo, come on. We can't, come on. We ain't gonna let nobody see this. Come on.
We ain't gonna let nobody see this.
I was dying.
Yeah, the altitude was crazy.
Dying. I was dying. Please, Kiki, look, work with me. 2 in a row and move. Like, I was dying, but I had to go. I had one workout and then.
So wait, did you work out for Detroit? Or you just worked out for scouts?
I was supposed to work out for Detroit. I didn't work out for nobody. None. Denver was like the only one I worked. I was going to Detroit to work out. They canceled my workout. And then come to find out they was working out Darko. So I'm like, oh, hell nah.
Some footage came out. I seen the footage when they was working on Darko.
In the high school gym, he's shooting left hand hooks and all that.
Yeah.
I know the footage. I was going there. Where's he at? Open the doors.
I'm going to that high school.
Man, open the doors, man. Bang, bang. Open the door. I'm here. Like, let's go. Let's get to it, champ.
Right.
They was giving me the runaround. And at that point, I started going back to growing up. And every time somebody tell me they're going to do something, shit is taken away. So, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Denver it is. This is what we doing. This is how I'm carrying it out there in Denver. You want me to come out there. Y'all just won 17 games, 18 games. I'm feeling that a high. I just won a national championship. But I don't have an ego. I'm coming in like trying to work with Marcus Camby, Vashawn Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Like, they my vets. Andre Miller, Earl Boykins, those are my vets. So now I'm like, I ain't coming in trying to take a spot. Bro, they are giving me this shit. Like, I can't give it back. It's not like I had to work for this shit. Like,
right.
No, they threw me the keys. They threw you the keys. They threw Bron the keys and said, drive and figure it out as you go.
Build the car while you drive it.
Go. I don't know what kind of car, but go.
Just go and build it.
And that's the spot that I was in Denver. So I always played with an edge. I always played with, like, it wasn't a nervousness. It was just like a sense of like, this shit could be taken away from me. So I was always afraid of it being taken away from me, which is why I always approach the game the way that I approach the game.
Did Detroit ever say why they decided to go with Darko over you?
Nah, man, no.
They never said it.
Nah, I mean, I want to sit down. I'm a man now. Like, you know what I mean? I want to sit down. I want to sit with Joe Dumas. Like, sit and like, yo, what's up? Like, let's build. Let's talk. Like, I don't got no heart. I want to know what top, because we talk about shit that could have been different. You know what I mean? And I had to like grow out of that as a man and be like, man, fuck that shit. Like, it's written. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if I'd have went there, shit would have been different.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, who knows? Like, but that's the older me. The younger me is like, man, I was in Detroit.
Right.
Motherfucker, I was an hour away from Beatmore.
Dang.
Imagine how we'd have had Detroit along with the culture and the vibe and the love that Detroit already have. Like, we would have been Motor City. We'd have been crazy out there.
So the video of Darko comes out that we see 2 weeks before the draft, right?
Broke my heart.
I'm going to tell you what happens on my side. Mind you, I worked out for 13 teams, 14 days, or 15 days or something like that. But anyway, I get a late call to go to Denver, like the day before the draft. I'm like, so now I'm like, why am I here? Like, I'm not supposed to be top 3 pick. Why am I here?
You did. Yes, you did.
So I go to work out at Denver. That altitude jumped on they had me work out with like a junior college guy, right? Yeah. We hooping. I don't remember his name. I don't want to disrespect him, but I feel like I did my thing. Anyway, I go into the office with Kiki and I'm like, Kiki, why am I here? Y'all, like, they taking Darko at 2. Y'all taking Melo. Why am I here? He was like, well, just in case Detroit take Melo at 2. That's why you here. So now I'm in all the flux. I don't know where I'm going in life now at this point.
Kiki tells me, yo, it's either you or D Wade. He's telling me this, yo. If you there, it's you or D Wade. This is what he's telling me. He's telling me this. So I could have been in Detroit, and you could have been in Denver.
Definitely.
Darko would have been in Miami.
They needed a big. They wanted a big.
They needed a big. This was what Miami needed at that point in time.
They needed a big, yeah.
They had to figure out what to do with you. They couldn't let you pass on the board.
Right, they just grabbed me up.
We gonna make this work with him.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shit could have been totally different, bro. But it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? It's good to that we can, the what ifs of it, you know what I mean, at this point in time.
Let's move on to New York.
Yes.
Big move.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, it was around All-Star weekend when it started coming out that you were moving from Denver.
Yeah.
Right? It was around All-Star weekend. I forget where we were.
It was All-Star, L.A.
It was L.A. All-Star. Okay. I remember when this news started coming out that Melo was over. The relationship was over. And you went to New York, at all places. Now, mind you, on one end, you're going to New York, which is incredible. But on the other end, New York is building, they had just got Amare that summer.
Raymond Felton.
So they were balling.
They was all-stars.
Yeah. Amare was MVP runner, like
First
leading.
half of the season, yeah.
First half of the season. That was the 2010 summer when, yeah, right. 2010, the big three in Miami. Amare goes to New York. He was the first move to go to New York that summer. Big move for New York. They're balling. Amare's hooping. And then All-Star weekend, the trade happens and Melo goes to New York. Talk to me about it. What are you thinking? Did you want to go there?
New York never was the place, though. Like,
oh, okay.
It was people think that like I went in there and was like, get me out of here to Denver. Like that never was the case. You understand? The case was, hey, I see what's happening here. 08, okay, we building. 09, we take a step and go to Western Conference Finals. Play the Lakers.
Cole. Yep.
We battle. Now we understand where we at compared to the champs, like compared to the Lakers and the San Antonios and those teams. Now we have a taste of that. Like me personally is like, yo, I could get it. We got to get there. I'm going to get it. I am going to get it. If we 2 plays away from winning that, you know what I mean? It's like we win that series after 2 plays. So in my mind, it's like, yo, team, I just need y'all let's get there. Let's dominate Dallas. Let's not play around with them. Let's dominate New Orleans, CP and them. Let's not play around with them. Let's show everybody we serious. We want the Lakers. This is our time to like get Trump the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened in the series, it happened. That next following year, my mind, hey, this is what we had. We analyzed the series, analyzed that team. We plug and play. Put this place right, put this person here. We might lose this person, but we going to get somebody. Let's just plug and play. We ain't got to reinvent nothing.
Right.
We already there. We 2 pieces away.
Right.
Whatever those pieces were, we 2 pieces away. You trade Dante Jones, which was at that point was a pivotal piece for our team, the type of team we had.
Dante was great.
Tough.
Dante was great with
you know what I mean? Great leader, locker room guy, great teammate, great person, great man. You get rid of him. I'm telling you, yo, Dante will take less. Just give him this. Just give him another 750. Like, I know what I'm saying like 750 is, but give it to him, bro. Like, you gonna let him walk away to go over here?
So you felt like they wasn't
for $1 million more?
So you're trying to go this way. You feel like you guys going finals.
I'm going.
Backwards.
This is my chance to get to the finals.
Right.
Because I know we beat the Lakers. We sweeping Orlando that year, and that's just real talk.
And this is 2009, 2010 season.
This is Lakers sweep Orlando that year. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Orlando. Well, regardless of what anybody thinks, we would beat Orlando that year.
Okay, so this is the Lakers' first championship, or they back-to-back? The first one, okay.
Yes.
For Boston, yeah, got you.
So it's like we catching, conglomerates like San Antonio Lakers. We catching the best teams ever. I got to face that. So this is my time to be a part of that. That's what I'm thinking. And then y'all get rid of a major piece, right? Because you want to go, you think you get younger in the same effect. No. So, hey, I'm going to play this season, but look, y'all got to show me what y'all going to do. I'm not trying to rebuild. I just got a taste of the Western Conference Finals. I'm not trying to rebuild.
And you got signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah, so now I'm like, I got like a year, 2 years left.
Right, in that deal.
On that deal. So now like, y'all about to make me rebuild with 2 years left on my deal. Here's the play. Look, I'm not rebuilding. I'm hearing rumblings of y'all about to amnesty Chauncey, right? Y'all gonna amnesty Chauncey. Y'all gonna send JR and Nene to Chicago for somebody. They wanted Joe Kim. Bring Joe Kim, they go ship Nene out. Bro, who you about to have me over here with? You know what I'm saying? Like, who? It took me 6 years to get to this point of making to the Western Conference Finals. And now you want me to start all over again. No. So here's what we're gonna do. I don't know what y'all thing is, but I'm not trying to rebuild. I'm not saying I want to get out of here, but y'all gotta show me y'all cards. And
their cards was you out of there.
Their cards was, no, we want you to stay. Well, you know how I go, we want you to stay. It's like, no, y'all playing with me now. I said this in June. We went to a baseball game at Oriole Stadium and had a good time, and we talked like men, and we figured it out. And like, I understand where you at, understand where you at. Let's make this happen. Here's the teams. Chicago, the deal was done with the Lakers. Me and Nene for Lamar Odom and Bynum. That deal was done. I never thought about New York.
The Lakers,
but then
bro?
When they turned that deal down, when George had that deal and turned that deal down.
So that didn't happen.
Right? He turned that down. Now it's like, oh, y'all don't want me in the West. You gonna send me to the East?
Yeah, you gotta get out the West.
Give me to New York. The deal never was with New York. The deal was with New Jersey Nets. So when we was All-Star Weekend, the deal was with the New Jersey Nets. George Karl had a deal with Utah behind the scenes for the young boy, Derek Favors.
Oh, Derek Favors, yeah.
Because he wanted Derek Favors. He was liking Derek Favors out of Georgia Tech, and he thought that was a power forward that he was a Nene type power forward. So that was like going to be, he wanted him to be the next Nene.
So you got to go.
Got to go.
So you ended up in New York.
Ended up in New York. That deal wasn't supposed to happen though. We need another podcast, another hour to tell that
we'll
specific
do a part
story
2 of
of
that.
New York.
I can't
that
wait.
Deal, but that's another. But yeah, the deal happened. I went to the airport from LA, dropped him to the airport. Leon called me, yo, go back to the house. Ain't no deal. Boom. I'm in the house in the bathroom in LA. Family, everybody there. Pop up on the screen. Denver Nuggets make a trade with New Jersey Nets. They in the works. I'm like, what's going on? Leon, yo, Denver is saying they don't want to send you to where you want to go. But I'm like, I'm not forcing it to go to New York. Like, if they want, you can ship me. I can stay here in LA. Like, you can make this deal where I'm already here. I'm not going to New Jersey though. So we met about Jersey, and that was when all the Brooklyn stuff was about to happen 2 years after
2
that.
years later,
and
they was doing Barclays was coming.
was in Brooklyn. Next year, I would be there.
Right, but it was a couple years down the line.
I can't play at a Prudential Center, champ. Like, I just can't.
Champ.
Like,
I ain't got time, but I can't waste 2 years.
Nah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So then the New York thing happened, and
because it sounded good. I ain't gonna even hold you. The whole Brooklyn thing and everything they were trying to build, it was just too far.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was just too far away.
Conversations was incredible.
Oh, incredible.
And if it was that next season, I probably would have been in net.
So how was it when you got there? And it was Amare's team.
It was Amare's team, and I made it my point to let everybody know this is Amare's team. I'm coming here to enhance what he already got going on because I know he need a wingman. He need a sidekick and that's my man from high school. Like, you know what I mean? I get a chance to play with Amare in New York. He already 8 games, 30 points a game. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
I can't go to Miami. I can't go to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to a place where I can go and blossom and be that. So I never stepped on his toes. It was, I got you. Like, whatever you want me to do, I got you.
But the style didn't really fit.
So what
from the
happened
outside.
was, so D'Antoni was there early. That system was working because now I am at small ball. I'm at a 4. I'm at the stretch 4, right? So now Amare could play the stretch 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which was, nobody was doing that at that point in time. Nobody put Amare at the stretch 5.
Right.
D'Antoni
He was just pick and rolling.
Pick and roll. So now when he at the stretch 5 and now I'm at the stretch 4, it's a different type of matchup that's out there. You gotta pay attention to Amare, and you gotta pay attention over here. So pick your poison on one of them, because Amare is going. And I didn't want to step on his toe because I didn't want to fuck his rhythm up of those 30-point games. So I'm coming in saying, hey, look, like, we playing through you, bro. Like, you go. I'm gonna get to it. Like, you know what I mean? But you gotta go. So I wanted to establish that early, and that fit as we started to go along with D'Antoni kind of stepped down. Now we start getting a different type of team now. We start getting Tyson Chandler. We start molding it out. Amare, you playing the 4. Melo, you at the 3. Man, you know what I mean? Like, we start molding this Raymond Felton. Oh, we gonna go get JR from China, come back. Now we gonna start putting a little team together with Mike Woodson.
More traditional.
Of now we're going to play with 2 bigs. Amare, you're going to be the stretch 4. When you already been working at that position, I know you've been playing the 5, but now you're going to play the 4. You know what I mean? Tight. We got the defensive player of the year. That's what we was trying to establish with Amare and everybody else. And then injuries started to happen. And then you sitting out, and then you got to come back and fit back into what already is trying to be. Woody is trying to establish something totally different now. He gotta adapt to you being hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the understanding of the knowledge of that is like, nobody wants to see that. It's Melo is taking over. It's whose team is it? Melo or Amare's? It's like, I don't want this shit. You know what I mean? You can have this shit. I never came out of Denver, said this was my team. I never just came out of New York.
But when you went to New York, did you feel like you were going to be in New York for a while, or you felt like it was just a bus stop?
That was it.
You felt like that was it?
That was done.
Okay.
I was retiring in New York. Done.
How was that?
Until my free agency.
What year was that?
I was a free agent.
In 12? 11, 12?
So I signed. I remember the lockout year was the year after the season that I got traded. That next summer, we played the lockout year. Then we came back December. That was 12-13. That was Jason Kidd in them year. We came back 13-14. And then that year, 14-15, around that time, I was becoming a free agent. And that was when the Chicago deal was about to happen.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be in Chicago.
It was done.
Yeah, it made sense.
It was done. It was done. And at that point in time, I was looking for something totally different. I was looking for, because I had been through so much shit up until that point, like dealing with New York. I was looking for like some type of appreciation, right? From and like a validation almost from the work that I put in. And Chicago was validating that. I went out, it was just valid. It was always been love in Chicago with me and the connection with Chicago. So they was just validating that part of it. So when I got there, it was love. And so when I go back to New York, it's like nothing.
Right.
It was like, oh, you ready to sign? I was like, what? Like, I just flew into Chicago and this is what's going on. I just flew to Dallas. Cuban just did this. And I come back to New York and we meet in that American cut. You know what I mean? And it's like, so how do you feel? You ready to sign? No, you gotta do the same thing. I'm a free agent.
Right. Recruit me.
You gotta do the same thing.
Right.
Because now you playing the game. You know that I want to be in New York. Like everybody knows that. But you playing the game with me now. You don't do nothing, like nothing. All right, cool. I see what type of time this is. I see what me and you stand at. I'm gonna sign back because I want to sign back. And my family is here. I'm going to sign back. And this is mine. I can't let you dictate what happens with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you're the man in New York. That's
right. And I'm willing to give that up to go to Chicago.
So you're willing to give up. But so that move, like, think about New York now. On the court is the one thing. But off the court is a whole nother beast. And you're the guy. Like, you and Amare are the guy.
Yeah.
Like, fashion is blowing up in New York. You and Lyle, like, in New York, right? Like, your family's there. Like, New York is
that's home.
And you're willing to give New York up because you're ready to go to a different organization.
Because of the environment that I was around in the organization. I was willing to walk away from that because it wasn't feeling like the right energy and place to be. I knew New York was a place to be for me, for everything, for every other reason.
For every other reason. Business and all kind of things. At that
moment, I was looking for, all right, we got you. Like, I didn't need it, but I would have embraced that instead of them fighting it. I already had to deal with the media. I already had to deal with the fans. I already had to deal with all of that. I'm going to play ball. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to perform. So whether you like it or not, whether you like me or not, I'm going to perform. You didn't want that. You didn't validate. Why you didn't validate that? You allowed me. You said go. And if you come back, then I got you. I got you. Because now you underneath of me now because you came back. You could have left. You could have went. But you came back.
Okay.
So now you under this. You under my.
Right. Do you feel, with all that being said, shifting gears a little bit, that New York was probably the best place to raise Kiyan?
Yes. I just come from Colorado. And Kiyan was born in Colorado, in Denver, in Sky Ridge Hospital. And I say, Kyle, we just rolled past your hospital. Like, man, I wasn't born. I said, I wasn't, but I ain't lit. I said, what? You was born at Sky Ridge Medical Center. Like,
you don't want that. You don't want that. You want that New York time. Yeah.
So, to that point, but he's still like, he knows it. He appreciates, like, oh, Denver. Like, then it's full circle. Now him being in Colorado Springs is like, damn, that makes sense. Like, oh, this is full circle. But New York, I was very strategic with moving to New York. I could have went to Miami. Right? We could have figured that out. I was very strategic in the sense that I knew me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I needed to operate.
Mm-hmm.
My son is an identical image when it comes to understanding what he needs to operate. If he don't like it, he ain't operating with it. He'll leave it alone. He ain't gonna argue with you. Leave it alone. Coming to New York gave him so much diversity, right? Where, we came to New York, we lived in Harlem. We lived on Upper Harlem. Like, we lived on 102nd and 5th Avenue, across from Central Park, right there by 110th and Harlem. You know what I mean? Like, we was in the next block over is the projects. We Central Park in the projects. Like, this is diversity at the highest level.
Facts.
So for him to be able to, as a young kid, walk around those streets in that environment and be a part of that community, now he's playing, he was going in Harlem, Queens, as a little kid. Bronx, Brooklyn, we moving, you know what I mean? Like, I'm moving the way that I'm moving around the city. And now you get a chance to see that and move with me. Now you moving that way now.
Mm-hmm.
So the foundation is already laid for you. Now you just gotta know how to move,
right? When
to move and how to move.
So he knows how to navigate these situations that he's going to be put into a lot better than a lot of kids because of how he had to navigate New York.
Absolutely, and I think New York is the belly of the beast. Like, it's the belly of the beast. So anything that people go through is New York. The stresses of New York, the tension of New York, the loudness, the noise, the smell. You get what I'm saying? The amount of people. Like, you gotta have to be able to navigate through all of that. And I tell him, I said, look, you have a chance to be the face of all of this. Think about that. In high school, you represent New York. You represent Brooklyn, New York, and you live in Brooklyn, New York. You represent New York. You've been there since 4 years old. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have an opportunity to be the face of what New York has to offer. That's a lot of pressure. on top of me being your dad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This ain't
bro.
like we in South Carolina where you can just chill and go to, be the number one player. You ain't the number one player, so you still grinding.
Yeah.
So I would prefer you to grind and get that grit and grind in New York and Baltimore and during these years. Because I'm going to give you everything else. Me and your mom going to give you the education. We going to give you the knowledge. We going to give you the jewels that you really need. But now you inside of this belly of the beast. And it's going to go as you go. So I'm able to tell him these type of stories. And he be, sometimes he like, man, that's right. But sometimes he's just like.
Do you see the effect, or do you see those things that what you had in your mind is this is what you're gonna be able to have and be able to do? Do you see him embracing it, or do you see him running from it? And I know the answer, but I'm asking so everybody else.
Of course. So the beauty in what my son has and what men have, like our bond, is that he embraces it. You know what I mean? But I think that comes from me and his mom just always like, you ain't running from it. You're not gonna run from it. You have to embrace this life. You have to embrace who your mom is. You have to embrace who your dad is. You have to embrace it. If you don't embrace it, it's gonna be harder on you because you're gonna feel like you have to fulfill some shoes, and you can't do that. I don't want you to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I could have named you Carmelo, Kiyan, Anthony Jr. I ain't want that. I flipped it around for you. As much as I wanted a junior, I gave you your own identity. But we connected. So that ain't you cool. You get your own Kiyan Anthony. You Kiyan Carmelo Anthony. Like, that's different. So you get the opportunity to stand on your own a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just wanted him to understand you gotta embrace who you are. You can't run from it, bro. Like, yeah, you know D-Wade. Yeah, you know Jay. Yeah, you know Dre. Yeah, you know Bron. Yeah, those are family. Those are people these are people that you call if you really need some shit. If you in some shit. If your pops is in some shit, you call.
You call them.
You get what I'm saying? Like, these are the people. So yes, embrace who you are. When people out and they say Kiyan, they want to embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace it, because the more you embrace it, the easier it will be for you to navigate through those doors and through that life. Because now you can just do what you do. Go poop, go play ball, live your life. You know what I'm saying? But you also know that you got this support system on this side.
It's so much we can talk about, and we're going to save the business, Melo, for our next interview. But what we're going to do is we're going to end talking about the end of your career.
Yes.
And how that went down, right? Now, we talked about the beginning and how
it all plays a part.
Right? So let's go to the end now. Now, you're one of the greatest players. You're a top 10 scoring in this league, which is, this league been around for a minute. There's been some buckets in this league.
A lot of hitters.
It's a lot of hitters. You're top 10 in scoring. You're top 75. You have all the accolades that you worked your ass off for. You can't control always if you can get a championship. That ain't based on just you.
I stopped worrying about that.
You can't control that.
Sure.
But you got one in college.
For sure.
You got you one. But your career path of how it ended wasn't what you would think a superstar of your caliber, how it would end. Tell me about how you dealt with, and this is obviously a lesson for all of us, how did you deal with being up here for so long and then feeling like nobody wanted you?
Yeah. It took me back to a kid. It took me back to shit always being taken away. I done worked this hard to get to this point, and it's just that easy. You could just take it away from me without no explanation. What is the explanation? To this day, I don't know the explanation. You get what I'm saying? So I can laugh about it now, but at that point in time, that shit was difficult to deal with because you coming from all-star, 24, 23 points a game, like, to I can't make a 9-man roster, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what? Me. Then now I'm gonna be selfish now. Me. This is me you talking about. I know what I do. I know everybody know what I do. You telling me I I can't make a 9-man roster in this NBA. Fuck out of here. Like, you are bugging. You know what I mean? Like, you are bugging.
So how did it get there?
Nobody.
And what you understand. Bro,
I don't understand this shit to this day. I really don't understand it. There's no explanation, bro. Listen, I'm going to just try to give you this in the quick summary. When I left New York, right, I didn't leave New York. I got pushed out of New York. Let's be technical. Phil pushed me out of New York. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I struggled to leave New York. OKC, and I'll support Sam Presti to this day in anything that he ever want to do. He came the 25th hour. Melo, we're taking you. We believe in you. You are the piece that we need in OKC. This is the conversation. I never thought we would be in this situation to be able to have somebody like you. Leon, yo, OKC, we out. Oh, where they got P? Oh, they got we out.
And they got Russ.
They still got Steven Adams. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is perfect. OKC, smaller market. You ain't got to worry too much. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I could just play ball.
You just go hoop.
And go hoop. I got Russ. I got PG. I'm cool. Man, that happened, and I felt it starting to happen in OKC with that team. And it was.
What did you feel?
It was slowly like almost pulling back on Melo. All right, it goes from not being a part of this play, and it's like, oh, you go from this 30 minutes, you start going to 28, 26. It's like, oh, they had the game going, and it's like, okay, I get that part of it. If they got it rolling, let them roll. But then you ain't incorporating into the offense. You ain't part of the system. And then it's like, I'm asking what's going on.
So is it?
No, you'll figure it out. You can figure it out.
It's not talent. It's not talent based. So is it a part of the game changing, and they want you to change your game?
No, at this point, I was willing to change my game. I knew PG Russ. So I'm going there to figure this out with all three of us.
Right.
So it ain't like I'm coming in like, yo, I'm Melo, and no, like, yo, I'm in the film sessions and the meetings, and yo, PG, what you need me to do? Like, you got it. I'm playing off of you. Russ, I'm playing off of you. I'm gonna do some other shit. I got y'all. You let me know what, but not even but, because I hate using but. That's not in my dictionary. With that being said, I'm still a part of this, champ. You know what I mean? Like, throw it down here to me. Let me work. Like, let me get to it. Let me work. Let me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
then
sure.
Y'all can go but don't throw me a bone. Like, make me a part of what's going on. Because guess what? Pete, you gonna get more points because I'm out here. Russ, you gonna get way more because I'm out here. Because at the end of the day, I'm the fourth option on this team. On OKC, Steve Adams was an option before me on that team.
You on all the pick and rolls. And I
understood that. I didn't fight it. None of that. When shit wasn't working at OKC, I went to him and, what do I need to do? I know I ain't doing shit wrong. What do I need to do? Because I know I got to do that for the sake of P and the sake of Russ. So I'm going to sacrifice whatever you need me to sacrifice, I'm going to do it. Then we get to the playoffs, and it's like, bro, we playing Utah, bro. First of all, we all had a terrible series. Nobody feels comfortable. Nobody knows what to do. Russ got the ball there. PG's on top. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here, bro? Oh, by the way, Melo Bellis out. Well, I ain't shoot the ball since first quarter. You want me to bail you out? You know what? I'll take the bomb, though. I'll take the bomb. Go out. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't want my man to deal with that. I don't want Russ to deal with that. I don't want PG to deal with it. I'm cool with taking that. I'm cool with it. So it started there. That summer, I was supposed to sign back with, I still had a year left from OKC.
Okay.
I was going back to OKC. I started hearing the whispers. Hey, You want to restructure your contract. I'm owed $28 million. How you want me to restructure 28? What you want me to do, champ? what the fuck you want me to do? If y'all got a better way, if you got a better way, please come tell me how to restructure $28 million, bro. And it wasn't even about the money, but I felt like y'all was playing with me at this time. So I said, y'all want me to restructure this? How y'all want me to restructure? I want to be here. I'm willing to do what I got to do to be here. I want to build me, PG, and Russ.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that. I'll take less. You know what? What kind of deal y'all wanted? You want to cut this down into 3 years to 28 over 3? Let's 4 years. Let's do it. Give me 7 a year. Let's do it. I'm going to work with it.
Wait, you willing to go down to 7 a year after you had 28?
Because they were trying to figure out a way how to make the contracts work for everybody. So at this point, I was owed 28 at 1 year. My last year.
Oh, so P and them had deals coming.
P and them had deals, so I'm talking to them like, yo, P, y'all want to be here, Russ? We gonna make this work. You know what? Yo, I'm gonna break my deal down. You gotta come off the bench. What? Where does this come from? You went
for
from
who? Who you coming off the bench for,
bruh?
Who was on the team? Who was
like they was trying to put Jeremy Grant, like make him the next, kind of thing in OKC. I guess they looked at me like, Melo ain't gonna be here long.
I didn't even know Jeremy Grant was in OKC. I don't even remember him being there.
He ain't gonna be here long. This is gonna be our future.
Right.
All right, but I'm here now. You just want to dismiss me right away.
Right. Well, I'm still here.
I'm still here. All right, cool. So now at that point, it just started, I start understanding what's going on. I'm in Africa, bro. Chilling, family. I get a call. Houston. Melo, you are our missing piece.
Mm. How old are you at this time?
Oh, this is 2017. Like this.
You're early 30s.
I'm 33. I don't know.
Okay.
30.
All right. Just for everybody to know, you're 33 years old.
I'm still rocking.
Ain't like you're 38. Then they trying to give them the restructure.
I was just All-Star in New York 2 years ago. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. I went from New York to going to OKC after 24. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it wasn't a talent. It ain't nothing to basketball wise. So, yo, boom, Houston calls. Hey, we need to make this happen. You're the piece. You see what happened to us last year. We was missing this. What you can bring. All of that. Where's CP at?
Because CP's in Houston.
CP's in Houston.
Is Mike D'Antoni in Houston?
Mike D'Antoni in Houston.
Okay.
PG's in Houston. I mean, not Russ. CP, James, PJ Tucker, Capella,
mm-hmm.
Gerald Green. You know what I mean? It's like they just lost. They were just up 3-1. You know what I mean? Like they just lost that. Trevor Ariza, they get Trevor out of there, which is why they were saying you are the missing piece, right? I already knew going into Houston that they was looking at me as a Trevor Ariza, and there's no knock to Trevor Ariza, but they wanted that type of mentality, somebody who was a 3-and-D guy, somebody who didn't mind sitting in the corner, didn't mind cutting, didn't mind, playing off of those.
Why would they come and get you?
This is my question. I'm glad you asked this question. I'm asking them that. So how do you see me in this offense?
Right.
Because I know y'all are layups and threes. I got it. I'm a rhythm guy, right? But I see CP playing, so I'm like, okay, CP is kind of a similar mid-range guy. Got to get to it. Got to get a rhythm. You know what I mean? I'm okay. He's there. So, they would accept that for me. I mean, I get there. I get to Houston, man. They tell me, D-Wade, no mid-range shots. Cool. I ain't talking to me. What? You brought me here for what? They talking to me. They ain't talking to me. They talking to somebody else. I'm looking at CP like behind me on the chair. I'm like, see, what? He's like, leave it alone. It's only 40. They broke it down numbers. We only allowed 17 mid-range shots a game. Here's who could take them. Broke them down. CP can take the majority of the mid-range shots. James can take. Melo, you get maybe one. maybe one. I had 25,000 points from mid-range. You tell me I only could take one mid-range game a game, but you want me to shoot 12 threes.
Okay.
No. If I ain't shooting this mid-range, I ain't gonna be able to make 12
get no rhythm
threes.
for them 12 threes.
Not at all. And they held that against it. And yo, D-Wade, I had to swallow my pride and ego so much in Houston. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it because everybody says I can't do it.
Nobody believes you're gonna be able to do it.
Nobody believes that.
I ain't think you can do it.
He's gonna come off the bench. He's it's like
Melo can't do that.
Bro, I never said I ain't coming off the bench. I told y'all do what y'all gotta do. I'm just here. Like, y'all do what y'all gotta do. Right? Go there. Well, we want to keep PJ in the starting lineup. Cool. Go ahead. I already accepted the fact that I'm coming off the bench. Cool. D-Wade, I went on a spree of like averaging like 24, like for like 7 out of 10 games.
I remember you hooping.
Bro. Come back to San Antonio. We're on the San Antonio trip. In the room, I get the call. Hey, I'm coming in town. We need to meet. We like 3-5 or something like that. Need to meet. I'm thinking he wanted to meet with me to figure out what's going on with the team and the players. And I don't want to say his name. I don't. Come to my room and says, yeah, I think your services are no longer needed.
Straight to it.
So I say,
no foreplay.
No foreplay. So I say, man, get out of here, man. What you talking about? Man, we gonna figure this shit like that. Like I gotta take it on the joking side. He's like, man, yeah, we gonna figure, but nah, we just don't see you part of the plans going into playoffs. Playoffs? We are 9 games into the season. You talking about playoffs. So now I'm getting serious. He's just like very stoic and like, well, this is what it's gonna be, and this is, and I say, damn, bro, like you don't have a soul, man. You don't have a heart. I said, I can take it, but the fact that you just came in here and just said, we don't have no place for you on this team. And I asked you why, and you tells me, well, it's just not a fit. I thought it was gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. What's not gonna fit? So now wheels are turning. Call CP. Go CP. Listen, bro, you my family. You my brother. If you knew anything about this?
Not you knew anything about this.
This is real talk. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. Yo, come to my room right now, champ. Like, he like, what? I ain't there. Now I don't give a fuck where you at. I need to holler at you. Yo, you know anything about this? Come in the room. What, man, I swear I ain't. Yo, see, don't lie to me, bro. Like, come on. Like, I'm hurt at this point. Like, nigga, you my best friend. Like, nah. Like, I'm going to find out what's going on. I said, see, I just need you to tell me. I asked him 3 times, bro. CP will tell you that. I asked him 3 times. Did you know anything about this? He like, nah. I promise you. He did. So I'm like, oh, all right, my nigga ain't. You know what I mean? Like, all right, boom. Like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, I'm going to figure it out. See, don't even trip. Call somebody else. Yo, you know about this? No. What's going on? But I was just with you at dinner. So, of course, you don't got nothing to do with this. I'm just with you. You know I'm about to have a meeting. And to this day, I can't figure out what happened. I don't know what happened. I get rumblings of,
right,
right, how the game go. We was in that seat before, you know what I'm saying? Just a matter of what you do with that seat. Yeah. You feel me? So now that year happens, I'm off away from the game, and I say, I'm done with it.
So you were done with the game after that?
Yeah, because I ain't had no answers. No answers. None. 28 the night before, 25.
You have no answer while you sitting at home. You like, why am I sitting at home?
You told me I should come to the game, but sit behind the bench. What the fuck is what? Oh, right. You really trying to embarrass me now? Like, you know what I mean? You really trying to make me flip to make me look bad? Like, no, I'm not gonna give you that. You know what? You asked me to leave. I'm cool. I ain't going to the game. Don't ask. You know what I mean? Like, you asked me to leave basically the team. And then you asked me to come to the games. I'm not doing that. No disrespect. We ain't going to make no scene out of this, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, but it ain't that easy.
I'm going to deal with it on my time, though.
Okay.
I'm not going to deal with it in the public.
Right.
I'm going to deal with it behind closed doors, which fucked me up for 4 months.
Right. I was about to say, how was your wellness? How was
Fucked up. Fuck all the
How
way
did you
up.
deal with it?
Reading. Lessons. Getting into my lessons. Back into my lessons. Working out. Like, I was working out like 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to think like, man, niggas just think I'm a loser. Like, niggas think he whack. And that's what was going on. Like, oh, he lost, he boom, he this, he deserved. I heard all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? Click, boom, unplug. And I unplugged for about 7 months. Started working, started getting myself together, started talking, started going through the therapy, started going through talking, started going to life coach, started really putting shit into perspective of what really was and what it is and what it's not. Understanding the business of the game, understanding, it was just, everything was on the table. And I was like, you know what? I'm walking away from it.
I'm done with the game.
I'm done because you know what? If I love this game more than this game loved me, I don't deserve to be here. It's over. It's no relationship at that point. Nothing can work in life with that type of relationship.
I love you more than you love me.
So I'm cool. I'm gonna walk away from the game. And I had to make that decision. I didn't watch games. I didn't listen to it. No sports. There was no sports. It was music. It was books. It was writing.
And that was 2018.
2018. I started writing. That's when I started writing my book, talking about my book. I'm like, yo, fuck it, this is the time to like, quarantine hit, so I was in a double doozy.
And the first time you showed up at a game was my last year.
It was.
In the Garden.
It was.
My last game.
And that was so hard to come to.
I know.
Hard. I said, man, I'm not going to, what? Tell my man I'm going to dinner after.
I already know. I already know. Champ.
No. In the Garden?
I know, champ.
Bro, I'm like, no way, no, please. Why does that have to be to go next year? Leave that.
My last game in the Garden, like, you showed up.
Bro, I'm like, you know what? And then it was a point where I was like feeling bad for myself. I'm like, why am I feeling bad? Like, I feel guilty about. I don't even know what I feel guilty about.
Like you did something wrong.
Did I do something wrong? I started asking that. And then like the media stuff, like, damn, what the fuck? Damn. It was like, oh, they was waiting for this moment. Like, I ain't do shit wrong. What did I do? You get what I'm saying? So I was fighting myself with that. So I had to get my mind right, my mental right, talking to people, being around my kids. Really was like, my son is like, yo, Dad, like, man, you the shit, man. Like, what you doing? I'm like, man, I ain't, son, fuck that game. I'm here with you. And it started to cause, not friction, but it was like, I ain't going to that game. To his game, I ain't going over there. I don't want to be around that. And he started like that. You know what I mean? He started like, yo, Dad, don't even come. Like, don't even worry about it. I already know. Like, but if I'm there with that energy, that's giving that energy to you because I can't be like into it the way that I want to be. I'm going. So I'm coming there looking empty. I'm just hoodie on. I'm empty. I'm just trying to figure this shit out. And those kids, man, being around the AAU and those kids, those are the kids that really like gave me back my swag. Cause they like, man, what? Man, oh, you ain't supposed to be out, you're supposed to be boom, boom, boom. But they realized that, and they're gonna realize this later, that they were a part of a journey that they don't even know about with me. Being in there during that time, that being therapeutic for me around those kids.
Yeah, it took you back to the reason why you started playing. It took you back to the beginning. It took you back to the innocence of it all.
You start listening.
Not the business.
You start listening differently. You start moving differently. You start approaching things differently because now y'all built me up. So now I have to give back to y'all, which is why I do what I do today.
All right, we'll stop there. This was about a 3-hour interview, and we ain't even halfway through. Man, I appreciate you coming through, man. I appreciate you having this comment. We're not done. We will finish this at a later date.
Nah, man, I can talk all day. You understand? Hey, you talk to me, I talk back.
But I appreciate you being like vulnerable and open. And these are the things and the tools that the kids that's playing this game, they need to understand. The guys that's in the game right now today that feels that organization say, oh, it's family, it's the. Y'all need to understand the realness of this, the business of this, the other side of this, which we don't see because the money and the celebrity and all the things that, all the shiny things.
Yeah.
But this is the other side too.
The dark side of sports.
Dark side of sports. You don't think it's going to happen to you. And we all got a story.
I was that guy.
Right?
This can't happen to me. This ain't happening to Melo, champ. This ain't happening to the guard.
One of the greatest ever play.
What the hell? No.
Stay mellow. Conversations with D-Wade.
Peace.